guys. I'm trying to find something to put my incense in. I might actually use this again. Probably need to remove this label, but it's not going to let me. Let me see what else I got. I think I'm going to use this. This is just, actually, you know what? Oh, where did it go? I'll be back. I'm going to go get my coffee, and then I will, try to find my cauldron. So I didn't find my cauldron, found this, and I'm going to be burning probably the rest of these. I've had this for a while now, these cones. Good morning, everybody. I figured I'd just come on here, see how everyone's doing, see if anyone wants a tarot reading. I'm just kind of getting started. I just made myself some coffee. Oh no. Vice baby, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I couldn't sleep either, and I got about the same amount, and I've been up since, I don't even know, I want to say 4:30, and I didn't go to bed till 12:30, almost 1. So, yeah, I feel you on that. Actually, I don't know if it's the residual energy from the moon that just passed or what it is, but it's definitely something going on. And I've noticed there's more people that are not doing well. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I'm not a morning person, but sometimes I'm like up early and I don't sleep much or else oversleep. I cannot find a good in between. So I don't know if you're that way, but yeah, if some people be going to work at this time, and yeah. So I got a couple interviews this week, so I'm looking forward. I already done one, and I'll do one today. So that's what's going on in my life. What's going on in yours? And where are you from? I'm getting out my Crow Tarot. Thank you. Yeah, I've been I've went through quite a bit recently, and I broke up with someone that was very um, harmful in my life, and I don't want to get into it too much because I'm trying to respect that person's privacy, and I'm not saying I'm perfect, but it's to the point where they're calling my cell phone and then the house phone all hours of the day, all hours of the night, and I sometimes pick up and I, say hello, and they still don't say nothing, and I laugh because it's just ridiculous. I'm like, you need a new hobby, man, because I mean, people got jobs. My parents are trying to sleep. I'm trying to sleep, and I don't know. This is my hobby, so, and I'm not interrupting, I don't think, anyone's life for it, but that person is, and I just thought it was kind of immature, but what do you know? I mean, people go through rough breakups and they all handle it differently, I guess. But today, I have, like I said, my St. Jude candle burning, and I have the friendship incense from the White Witch Parlor, and then I have some Unakite here, and this is just really good for helping with attracting abundance, and if you're having any issues with your sacral chakra, so reproductive organs, it's going to help with that. And then I have Moonstone for intuition. I have clear quartz, and then I have fairy quartz, desert rose, and then lepidolite. So I'm going to say a quick prayer. I call on my guides and everyone else's guides that are watching this now or later, and all beings of light, to assist me with this reading, and that everyone gets a clear and accurate message for them. So I'm going to go ahead and just pull some random cards for the collective this morning. So let me get out my planner and see what dates I can look into. So we can just do the 8th, well, actually it's past the 8th, so we're going to do the 9th through the 15th. Yeah, the 9th through the 15th. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then if you want a free card, or if you have a question and you want the tarot to answer or your guides, just let me know and I'll pull it for you for free. And then I'll try to leave if I can. Sometimes it'll let me, sometimes it won't. It just all depends. I don't know why it does that. To leave. Yeah, it might not let me this time. Like I said, it's kind of strange. Sometimes it'll let me type in to the comments. It's not going to let me. But my information, which if you go to ravenofhope.com, that's my website. If you go to email, you can email me at paranormalangel06@gmail.com, and that's all together, all lowercase. And then my Cash App for donation for the channel or anything is for a more, a detailed reading, private or live, is the $ Raven of Hope 06. So we're going to go ahead and see what's going on the 9th through the 15th of September of 2025. And see what's going on. See what we most need to know. Oh, wow, okay. So we got quite a few cards that came forward. So we're just going to start from here. And we got the 6 of Pentacles. So this is telling me that you're really trying to balance your finances, or at least your daily living skills. You're really wanting to see some sort of progress. And you're really trying to get out of the scarcity mindset. Because of that, it is really helping you see things different light. You might be getting rid of the all or nothing thing, and that's important for this week to move forward with a positive attitude. We also have justice, and what I think is interesting is, okay, if you look at both these cards right, in this deck's depiction, we have both. Here, let me do it like this. We have both displaying the scales, okay? So that's balance. That's like Libra energy. That's give and take. It's balance, like I said. So Spirit's really wanting you to focus on balance, you know, and understanding that some progress is still progress. And sometimes no progress is helping you with your patience, and it's helping with your understanding of divine timing. Okay, now we have the 8 in reverse of Pentacles. So to me, this is saying that a lot of us are kind of disappointed in our progress when it comes to what we've worked for, but Spirit's really wanting you to focus on believing before receiving and understanding that there is something along the way that has kind of almost made you, I hear default, so it's almost like you've been disappointed by something so bad that it's kind of filter over everything else that's distorting the truth. So you really want to pay attention to that and how it's affecting your life, your actions, your attitude, and your mood. I feel like a lot of us are needing to regulate our life in that aspect and understanding what's really going on. We also have the 8 of Wands. So when we think of the Wands and we think of the number 8, it's infinity, right? So to me, this is saying that there's always going to be things going on, whether we see it or not. There's things going on beyond our scope of sight, not just physical, but spiritual. And when I think of the wands in this depiction in particular, it's fast moving. So Spirit really wants you to work on understanding that everything's not fast moving, but it's still moving. Even when it seems like it's not moving, it's still moving. So it's like they're really just trying, like, I feel a little bit of I feel like a lot of us, like you said, we need to laugh. We need to there's a lot of things that are coming into your life that is going to require a different, maybe even a different version of yourself. And it's not like being, it's the better version of yourself, if that makes sense. It's not really being deceitful, because I feel like it's growth. Vice, baby. I got a little bit distracted by your comment, but yeah. Thank you. I would like to think that too. And I have found people in my life that are more stable and more kind and more patient and is more, I guess what they call nowadays is matching my vibe, if that makes sense. But anyway, so yeah, Spirit is also showing us that we need to see how are we receiving our currency. And I'm not just talking about currency as in money, because it's in reverse. So this has to do with anything that could provide something for us. It doesn't have to be money, it could be work, it could be friendship, it could be energy, it could be this, it could be that. So many things. Any level, anything in your life, think of that. And really understand that you have choices. Because the Queens is all about receiving, but understanding that boundaries are important. And so, with it being in reverse, I feel like Spirit's telling you to pay attention to what boundaries are you crossing in order to get the bare minimal effort from whether it be people or life, and understanding that it'll come. I keep hearing timing. There's something about this week that has to do with timing, judgment, and reverse. So, yeah, there's a lot of people have been maybe putting some things in your mind that has caused too much rumination. And it's kind of kept you from receiving in some aspect or another. So this week it's about not judging people, not judging yourself, just understanding that things are working out as they should. And this week is about understanding things beyond maybe this earthly knowledge that we can obtain, and be kind of like blinded by faith and start feeling with our other senses. I feel it's trying to say here. The Empress in reverse. So yeah, us are feeling a little bit of sadness when it comes to receiving. I feel like in the past we've really struggled with receiving. We've always been givers. We've always been able to receive anything with gratitude and being humble. But now it's time to receive with, it's almost like receiving with, I want to say, positive expectation, but it's not a demand. It's like another humble energy is what I'm hearing. We also have the Chariot in reverse. So yeah, there's been a lot of stagnant energy, and this week it's really showing you where this is at and how you can clear that out. The Lovers in reverse. Yeah, so see, this is talking about in particular just anything that brings us emotional fulfillment. Okay, it doesn't have to be relationships, it doesn't have to be finances. And we also have the Seven of Pentacles. So we're working really hard to build something new, and understanding that we have to build something new if we want to get out of this stagnant, sort of disappointing energy, because we're not going to be able to acquire new things by looking at the old, if that makes sense. And then we also have the Six of Wands in reverse. So there's been a lot going on with other people and us. We've really are starting to see a different side of ourselves and why we need to protect ourselves. I feel like some of us has been so giving and so understanding and so patient and so kind that we're not protecting our energy enough, and that's causing some of this stagnation. We are holding on to things for other people, and I think that came up in the other reading as well, the Emperor in reverse. So yeah, there's a lot going on, guys, this week. A lot of detachment in a positive way. It's more like detaching from the distraction and attaching to the positive reality, and it's not, again, it's not about being oblivious. It's about being mindful and loving towards ourselves. And then we have the Knight, or the King of Pentacles, sorry, in reverse. So yeah, this is, to me, this is saying that we're trying to balance our energies in this week. to where we don't feel so depleted at the end of the week. And a lot of this is going to show us where things need to be cut out in our life in order to receive the things that we want. And it's also about understanding what habits we need to make and change in order to feel less restricted. A lot of us are trying to heal from some things that we maybe not have spoken about in detail to people or a few select people, and we're really going off the present. I mean, you're aware of the past, but it's not going to be an anchor any longer. It's going to be part of the sail, is what I'm hearing. So they're showing me clairvoyantly like a boat with a sail, and you're going to use that as almost like an advocate of an anchor, is what I'm hearing. And in the past, you might have used that as an anchor, and that's what's causing some of this disappointment and some of this stagnation. So this week is really about revising your love for yourself, your love for life, and finding out your why and your motivation in this moment for the present and the future. And maybe even using some of that advocacy from the past, what you've learned and what you've been through, to help other people move forward and not let it define you so much where it is, again, it's like post-traumatic growth. It's not post-traumatic stress. I mean, it could be stress too, but the stress level is going to be diminished this week because of your awareness. I hope that makes sense. I hope that gave you some positivity for your week ahead. And if you have any questions, let me know. If you want a card pulled, just let me know as well in the comments. I'll stay on here for about 30 minutes. It's been 23 minutes now, so once 30 minutes is up, I'll probably get off here, just because I know people got things to do. It's early in the morning. It might be late at night, depending on where you're at. So I want to keep it at a decent time. I don't want to take all your day up. I appreciate you coming and spending time with me this morning and letting me read for you guys as a collective. What is your favorite morning drink? Comment. I want to know. Mine's obviously coffee. I think my incense went out. Yep. I'll have to light a new one. Didn't even realize it. Might have to put it, because I got the fan on low. I don't like being hot, so I'm always having the fan on or something. I know a lot of people, they like essential oils because it helps with anxiety. And I really like incense too. I've never had the best luck with oil burners, like essential oil burners. Wax melts is pretty good, but I still struggle with keeping it to where it needs to be. And they say that smell is very potent when it comes to memory and feelings. Hi, Crystal. How are you? I'm just on here for probably another 5 minutes this morning. If you want me to pull a card for you, I'd be happy to. Okay. So let's see what the cards have to say for you. How is your morning going? Where are you from? And how did you get to my channel? I'm curious if you're okay with sharing that. Okay. So we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, the King of Cups in reverse. So what I'm hearing is you're waiting for some sort of answer. And that's going to make you feel like you can finally make a decision based on facts and not just feelings, is what I'm hearing. Yeah, because we have the Two of Wands in reverse. So I feel like there's been things going on in your life where you feel like you're in a standstill. And you're really telling you that you will receive the facts in the next 1 to 2 weeks to make a decision that's going to change the path for your life and in the positive. And this is what they're telling me is you're grieving, but you're also struggling with some guilt, and Spirit doesn't want you to feel so down. They have things on the way for you that will uplift your spirit and bring you emotional fulfillment and stability. And they see that you've been a caregiver for some time. So I feel like Spirit's trying to get you to see that you don't have to wait for the perfect timing. It's when it comes to your self-love and your self needs and wants, if that makes sense. I hope that helps. Houston, Texas. All right. Okay. Yeah, I think live, I don't know if it notifies people like it does TikTok, but it's it's interesting. I tried to do TikTok. It's too maybe complicated for me, or I just don't get enough engagement. I'm not sure what it is, but I really like YouTube a little bit better. You're welcome. I hope you have a good morning, a good week, the rest of your week and weekend ahead. Thank you guys for coming on here and allowing me to read for you. If you want to, Crystal, I don't know, I don't think you were here the whole time I've been live, but if you go back, it'll give you more information for the week ahead as a collective. It's going to be through September 9th through the 15th, I believe. So if you want to go back when you have time to watch that, I'll be posting that soon on my channel under live, the live tab on my channel. All right, guys, have a great week, great day ahead, and I will be back on probably later today, if not later in the week. Thanks so much for your support. Sending much love.